All right, everyone, thank you for your time today. It is a couple minutes past the hour, so we're going to go ahead and begin. We have a lot to cover today, so I do appreciate your time and patience. I'm going to run through a few things here. First off, I am Roger. I am with Secured Signing. The purpose of this webinar today is we're going to be talking about digital signatures with Secured Signing. We will not be focusing too much on RON, remote online notarization, but just know we are a remote online notary platform as well. All right, so just want to start talking a little bit about, again, I am Roger Castile. I have been with Secured Signing for a little over 2 years now, almost 2.5 years. Just a little bit about my background is quite diverse. I've worked in the financial industry. I've worked for a top 10 mortgage lender, managing various business opportunities within that lender's organization. I've worked for multiple appraisal companies, including one of my own. And of course, I'm now over here in the digital signing world. So pretty excited about that. For those of you who know me or seen me in the past, I have been a notary since 2004. So I probably managed over 3,000 signings in my lifetime by myself. And of course, have always used uh, e-signature solution providers throughout my career for my document signings as we go through it. So just a little bit of history about me. Bill has joined us here, and I want Bill as part of our sales team here in the United States. And Bill, if you don't mind, I'm going to just put you on the spot and just share a little bit about your background.
Thank everyone for joining today. I've been involved in the notary space since 1997. Did my first RON transaction in July 2013. Did a lot of e-signature transactions for financial institutions, including Flagstar Bank, AmTrust Bank, New York City Bank, and others, where they used the platform that I was involved in designing to execute transactions online. I'm also on the United States Common Law Committee, where we draft statutes for execution of electronic notarizations into each state's statutory code so that they can then progress and move forward into the e-sign, e-notarization, and remote online notarization market. So, short vita. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. Appreciate that. You know, the exciting thing about secured signing is this company's been in business, and I'll go over this a little bit more, since 2010. We are known as one of the top 3 best digital signing platforms worldwide, which is quite an accolade for a smaller company that's been around who competes against the much larger signing platforms out there. So just know we are a very secured signing platform. And we're just going to go through 4 more slides and present from there. Now, I am going to change things up a little bit today. We have a lot to cover, but I'm going to go ahead and unmute everyone. Feel free to ask questions as we go. I try to keep this lively as possible. If not, continue to put your questions in the box there, and either Bill or myself will try to grab those as we go. But we certainly want to leave this open. And again, today's focus is on our digital signature signing platform. All right. So who we are. All right. We do provide, of course, an enhanced document workflow. And that's the main thing about using a platform like ours. We have these dynamic workflows that are legally binding and tamper proofing of your digitally signed documents. So whether it's digitally signing, notarization, and document delivery, you always know that a secured signing platform like ours provides that level of security that you need. We know that a lot of folks out there in the industry, struggle about going digital signing. Just know that we do follow all the rules and guidelines with regards to operating in a digital platform. I did mention that we have been in business since 2010, so going on almost our 14th year now. So it's pretty exciting there. We have a global operating in a cloud digital signing platform, meaning we are in the cloud. We do not have local-based servers, typically in the United States or abroad. They are in the cloud, which means our downtime is minimal at best. I think since I've been here in the last little over 2 years, I think our platform's been down maybe a total of 60 minutes. So pretty exciting about that. We have clients in more than 45 different countries. So not only in the US here, but 44 other countries out there, which is very exciting when you have millions and millions and millions of users trusting in a secured platform like this. course, we do work with our PKI digital signatures, which is the key around getting your documents signed through a platform like ours. And of course, we have various integration capabilities to connect, and we're going to look at those, some of our integration partners, a little bit further down the line. All right, let's talk about the overview of this session. We're going to talk a little bit about the strength and the security. Of course, you can read this, but I'll just kind of read along here. Secure signing uses a variety of security measures, of course, to protect your documents. PKI, which I mentioned already, we encrypt, and of course, we have two-factor authentication. The beauty of the two-factor authentication is there's the ability for you and your customers to be authenticated prior to either engaging with the platform or signing the documents through a portal. So it's very exciting. There's no apps that need to be downloaded with the secured signing platform. It's merely clicking on a link, which you'll see in a little while. Of course, secured signing allows you to sign your documents online, which is the key, right? We're trying to streamline the process flow. We're trying to streamline the cost associated with lost documents and paper printing. So it does certainly save you time. It can certainly save you a lot of money if you move to this digital realm. And of course, improve compliance. This is one of the largest items that we've talked about. Secure signing is compliant with all major regulations. And I mentioned that earlier, so you can be confident that your documents are legally binding. All right, so really, what does that mean when it comes to legally binding documents? Well, if you take a look at the difference between a digital signature and electronic signature, there's not much of a difference. But I just want to point out a little bit more about digital signatures. Because a digital signature is using a cryptographic technology, we are providing a high level of security and integrity to these documents through that PKI signing of the documents. This makes them legally binding at a higher level of recognition compared to that of just an electronic signature. All right, so just know that we're very focused on security. We're very focused on tamper-proofing of your documents to ensure that as they're being filed with various state regulated offices, that you know that those documents are tamper-proofed. All right, let's talk about a little bit about protecting and building your business. So this is key in any industry that you move through. With the secured signing platform, we want you to brand the site. We want it to look like you, not secured signing. So you can add your logos, your script, your email domain, so that your clients see it as your platform that you're using, not secured signing. And that's really key, right? You want to be able to conduct business with your clients securely, safely, and so it looks and feels like you, and they're not asking the questions of who is secured signing. We try to make everything in this platform turnkey. All the elements are compliant sessions, including your subscription, no upfront costs on a month-to-month arrangement or an annual plan. So we try to keep the costs low, which we'll talk about more of that at the end. Of course, we mentioned we are that award-winning digital signature utility. One of the cool features I'm going to show you today is video confirmation. So that way you know who's actually signing those documents. So who's behind the device. Of course, we're all about document security, which we've already covered. And of course, we offer, I get this question all the time in these webinars, can we integrate with your system? Absolutely. We do have an API integration guide. We do have what's called a smart tags. I had a call with a gentleman this morning who's interested in our smart tags. That means you're actually putting tags on documents. It's a language that's read by our platform, so you don't have to spend a lot of time tagging documents. Once you get those templates created, they move through the system a lot faster. Of course, that will help you reduce your FTE costs just by keeping yourself organized and moving to a digital solution. So before I move on to the next slide, for those of you in the mortgage space, we are MISMO compliant. We do have our MISMO certification. We are now through year 3. We are HIPAA compliant. Of course, we have our ISO 27001 ISO security, working on the SOC 2 here in the United States, and of course, FDA. So very excited about that because we try to continue to be the leader in the industry when it comes to our digital signature solution. All right, so let's talk about some of the other key features. Now, folks, what you're looking at on the screen today is just merely a few items that we offer through our digital signature solution. If you really want to take a robust look, take a look at our website. It was recently redesigned in the last month or so. And underneath our digital signature solution, we have so many features, we just won't have the time to go through all of those today. So we're going to focus on just a couple of them, just through the focus of this next 45 minutes or so. Tamper proof of the digital signatures. That is, again, key. I'm going to keep reiterating this throughout this webinar. Of course, we ensure the signer's identity, intent, and document integrity, eliminating repudiation. So really what does that mean is we're just trying to make sure that the documents are tamper sealed for verification. And you can always verify and validate the documents are tamper proof after the fact. We have the option for bulk sending, which I'm actually going to show you a demo of that today. So if you have in your organization, you need to send out a document to all of your entire staff and everybody maybe needs to sign that. Maybe it's a new rule change on vacations, holidays, things like that. You can send out a bulk broadcasting and a batch signing method and get everyone to sign those documents. Again, if you want them on video, you can do that as well, which I'll show you. Probably not necessary, but at least you know you have that option. We have signing orders and workflows. So we're going to go through a little bit of this. Probably won't have a lot of time today, but you can set up the way you want your workflows to be. Who's going to be reviewing the documents, who's going to be signing the documents, and which particular order they need to go in. So if you have a person that needs to sign it, then a manager needs to review it, but not sign it. Once it's been reviewed, it can move on to the next the secondary signer and so on, right? Of course, we have automated reminders that go out. So if you sent a document out and it hasn't been signed timely, we can send out automated reminders, say, hey, you need to sign this document. Of course, through our API integrations, a lot of this can be done through a single sign-on type of setting. Reusable templates. The key thing with secured signing is you can create and build your own document templates, and there's no limit. There's no limit on that. It can be 1, it can be 500 different templates. It doesn't matter. We want you to be able to create signature templates, get those ready and prepared. Again, it's all about streamlining your workflow and your operations. In our world, when you upload a document, it's considered unlimited pages, right? So it can be a 1-page document, it can be a 500-page document, doesn't matter to us. And we do not charge for signatures, okay? So that's the key around our platform. You're paying for the document upload fee, you're paying for the right to the access to the system, but we are not charging you for documents that are signed. Again, just focusing today on e-signature. Video confirmation, I've already mentioned this a couple of times. You can actually bring your client up on video to see who is actually signing that document. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in a little bit. I did mention about our 2-factor authentication, SMS passcode. Even in our digital signature solution, if you choose to have your client's ID proofed, you can do so. Of course, you can do that in the RON world, but now you can also do that in the digital signature world. So if you want your clients to scan a picture of the front and back of their driver's license or passport, you can do that. If you want to go through the knowledge-based authentication, have your clients authenticate they are who they say they are, you can do that. So a lot of flexibility around this platform. You are in the driver's seat. You get to decide how you wish to ID proof your clients, if at all. And of course, I did mention single sign-on through Authenticator, Azure ID, so on. Now, we're not going to focus on RON today, but just know that is a portion of this built into the software as well. So I mentioned earlier, let's talk a little bit about some of our partners out there, and some of our integration partners, I should say. So here's a list of just a few of those that are pretty critical into the US-based market. For those of you that are in Salesforce, we have a great integration with them. Now, none of these happen to do with HR, but we also have some with Bullhorn and JobAdder as well. You can see here's just a few of our priority integration partners that we have today. Would love the opportunity to integrate with you, integrate into our platform, and we have an IT team here that's ready to assist with any of those questions that you might have around that. Cool. Now I'm just talking. Hopefully you're learning a little bit about this today, but let's move on, and I am going to show you what the platform looks like and show you a couple documents through this demonstration. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this over. I have multiple screens. Let me just go ahead and move this over so we can see it. This is our new website, folks. We just rolled this out, like I said, about a month ago. Very excited about this because it's more robust than it's ever been before. Again, we're all about full disclosure here. We want you to see everything we see so that there's never any questions or concerns about us hiding anything. You'll see everything that we see. We will talk to you from a sales perspective about all of the costs associated and all the functions and features around this platform. Again, everything is on the website. So we're not going to focus on integrations today, API integrations, but again, did mention that you can certainly integrate with our platform and move documents in and out through that process as well. But if you want more information on that, reach out to Bill or myself, and we can certainly set up an additional meeting around there for you on that. All right, Bill, thank you for answering those questions out there. Appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and log in to our platform. Again, most of you would be logging in just like I'm doing today. Each of you would have your own unique username and password. Now, obviously, you can have multiple users in one account. So with our basic business plan account, you can have up to 10 users. With our enterprise level, of course, 11 plus and up to as many as you need. And we can talk about pricing, obviously, another time. So this is what our screen looks like, our platform looks like when you log in. There's a lot of buttons and a lot of information here. So I'm just going to focus on a few things. We're going to focus today strictly on that digital signature, not on Ron. So I'm going to go through a few items here. I'm going to try to stay on track with my my list here. So let's start with iSign. So iSign is really if, let's say, somebody is sending you a document and you need to sign it, digitally sign that. So maybe you're traveling, you're on the road somewhere, somebody sent you a document, you got to get it signed. You don't want to go find a place to print something out. The iSign works that way. Somebody can send you a document, you can upload it, you can digitally sign it and send it back. We're going to focus almost 100% today on WeSign, which is where you're inviting others to sign documents. All right. I did mention earlier, and we'll show you how to create a template later, but you can create as many templates as you want. And I'll show you some cool tricks around this if we don't run out of time. All right, so what we're going to do today is I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to start with the WeSign button. Now this is going to be a very manual intensive. Again, if there's an API integration, you're going to pull your documents from a different source, but this is how you're going to begin the process. So most folks, like I do, will just upload a document from your system. Okay, so you can go in here, and the beauty of the secured signing platform is that you can upload PDFs, Word documents, Excel files, ODSs, TXTs, JPEGs, TIFFs, and so on. One of the really neat features, because we do a lot in the healthcare industry, is DICOM. And what does that mean? For those of you in the healthcare, you know. For those of you that are not, it's actually X-rays. Typically, it's pictures of the human body that are being uploaded and actually being reviewed by doctors and others within the healthcare organization. Any platform out there, I can tell you, there's very few that actually have that scalability to upload those type of documents. If you're working through Dropbox, Google Drive, or OneDrive, of course, you can pull your documents in from those sources as well. All right, so I'm just going to grab a document here. Again, this is nothing special. It's just going to be a one-pager. And then I upload that document. If you're going to upload more than one, you're just going to enable a package and then upload those multiple documents into the system. So it's a very straightforward process here, folks. And I intentionally left this document blank just to kind of show you some cool features around it. So we always start from the left and we move to the right. Now, in this case, I'm going to add an invitee to sign this document. At this point, you need to know their email address, and you'll just put that in. And now, if it's your first time putting it in, it won't be here, but in this case, I've done this before. It'll automatically save the signer's email address for future signings. So we're just going to put in their email, their first and middle, and click Add. Simple as that. And then I'm going to drag and drop it wherever it needs to go on this document. As you can see, I'm resizing this to make it fit. Got to make sure you have enough real estate space for this. Now, within this system, I do have the ability to automatically add the signer's name, date, and time that they signed this document. Okay, so I'm going to leave that turned on, but if you don't want to, you can turn it on or off here or on the left. One of the other questions I get all the time is, I need to have the signer's job title on here. Not a problem. Over here on the left, you just click job title. It will automatically be a requirement of the signer to include their job title before they sign this document. Okay? So tagging is that simple, but notice that there's a lot of blanks here in this document. So let's say I need to go ahead and put in the printed name of the signer. So we have other options built into the software. It's called text box, multi-line text box, checkbox, radio button, and so on. Text box is probably the most popular, radio button probably the next most popular item. And then of course, we do have one that's called file upload button. Now, file upload just means that you're going to have the client upload a document that maybe they didn't provide earlier to you, and it just becomes a requirement. So I'm going to go ahead and click on text box, and I'm going to resize this, just like you would a Word document or a Google Drive. I'm going to change this something, and then I'm just going to fill in the information. So I can make this a required field for the signer to complete, or I can go ahead and do it for them, as I'm setting up this document. So I'm just going to make this a read only. That's it. Nothing needs to be done. And now that would become part of the official document. Again, if I want to add a date picker, I can certainly do that. And I can just drag and drop that wherever it needs to go, just like that. I'm not going to make it a mandatory field, but I could. I'm just going to make that a read only, and it'll automatically fill in the date. Now with the date, you can choose the format, how you want the date to look. So let's just change this to September 12th, 2023. So now that will be the format associated to this particular document. Now there's other blanks in here. Obviously you can add as many text boxes as you want, and you just move along and you fill it all in as you go. Okay. Again, you can resize everything, make it fit, and you can fill in that information as you go. One of the cool features about this system too is that maybe you have some validation rules around what needs to be placed inside of that box. So now this one's a property located at a certain area. So I can either put in any type of information I need. In this case, maybe I want a phone number, a credit card, special characters only, a numeric only. So I can make this numeric and make a responsibility of numeric and put the limits on the size of that. Okay, so there's all sorts of things you can do as you practice and you go through the system. Just give it a try. See what you think about it. See what you need to add in there, and then just decide who's responsible for completing it. All right. So hopefully I've kept your attention on that. So that is how easy it is to tag this document. Okay. And again, this is a one pager. If you have multiple pages, it's going to take you a little bit longer, but just know you can easily do that. Now, the system does save every 5 minutes, but I'm going to go ahead and click save because of what happens if I want to replace this document. So if I replace this document, I can do it now. Then I can upload the revised version of this document. And the good thing is that anything that you've previously tagged will remain in its original location. I can also add a document. So I can go in here, I can upload a document again from those different sources, and I can bring another document in wherever I need it to be. And then I would just tag that document accordingly. Right? So that's your basics of a tagging of a document. Again, you are preparing this document for your signer to sign. Your signer will not have the ability to add any text boxes, add any signature boxes. Anything outside of what is done here is all they can do is sign and follow the instructions. All right. So then I go over here to next. And then I just take a look at my workflow. All right. So here's their email address, their name. I'm going to do a passcode. I mentioned earlier about video confirmation. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on now. And then I'm going to show you what that looks like during the signing session. Now, you can actually require your clients to read the documents prior to signing. Okay. And you just click on the review before signing. I'm going to turn this off first for time, but that it will also be part of the log. Now, cool feature that we just recently added is Spanish. So any instructions that come out of this system, if you have signers who speak Spanish only, you can send all the instructions in Spanish if you want, and you can set it for each particular signer. Okay. Now I only did one signer in this particular signing session, but if I could do the first one in English and of course set the second person up in Spanish. Depends on how you want to do it. I mentioned earlier about templates. There's unlimited amount of templates you can create. So you can either just use this box here and type in a message, or you can pull from one of your templated files. Now again, these are just notary ones, but I'll just update that and show you what it looks like. So I did mention earlier about branding. Let's brand these emails to look like you, not secured signing, and then you would have all of your pertinent information required for that document to go out for signing. Okay. So we've gone through the process, made it very simple. We've uploaded a document, tagged the document, and now we're working on our workflow. We're setting up for video confirmation for this demonstration's sake. And now we're going to send out the email invitation to the signer to sign the document. Right? It can be that simple, folks. It can be that simple with just tagging and preparing a document for signing. All right. So once it's done, I just go back to my documents. And again, nothing's happening yet until the signer receives the email confirmation. Okay. So once I receive that email confirmation, then they're going to go ahead and sign. So that email just popped in, and I'll show you what that looks like. And it looks just like this. Oop. All right. So it says, Jonathan, you were signing an important document scheduled today at 3:28 in the afternoon. Here's all the information I provided. They're going to click on this, click to view and sign, and type in the passcode. Notice that there is a reroute button. So let's say you send it to an employee and they said, nope, I'm not the authorized person to sign this agreement or this letter, or whatever it might be. They can reroute it to the right person, and then that person will then be responsible for signing that document. You can turn this on or off. If you have employees that need to sign something and they keep rerouting it somewhere, you can turn that function off so they don't have the ability. All they can do is download or sign the document. All right. So very simple. They're just going to click. I mentioned earlier, there is no invitation or applications that need to be downloaded for your clients to sign these documents. So let me just go and get this document signed now. All right, so I'm going to go over here, click to view to sign. And I'm going to type in this passcode. Now again, had I had my clients be responsible for completing KVA, knowledge-based authentication, or ID verification, which typically doesn't happen with document signings, then they would have to perform that before they're allowed to sign the document. All right, so this is the screen that they get, and they're just going to type in that passcode. I think I got it right. And it's going to bring them into where they're going to sign the document. Make sure I put the right passcode in here. 9698. All right, make this a little bit bigger. All right, I did turn off that other video just because I wanted to show you. Everything that they touch on this screen will be documented into the control log. So of course they have to agree to electronically sign this. They're going to have to start with the information provided here, and then they can click on the box or click next to sign this document. Now remember earlier I said put in their job title. They can put their job title in, and here's where they'll choose the font that they want. So they can choose a font that they want, or you can require that they use their mouse pad, or they can upload their signature, right? It's really up to you how you set up the system. In this case, I'm just going to pick a pre-formatted font, and I'm going to sign this document. Now notice, I set this up for video confirmation. So now it says you have been asked by Roger to provide a video confirmation of identity as part of this signing process. Please record yourself making the head movement instruction provided. The video will be saved, and so on. This is very important, folks. If you're not sure who it is that's signing that document on the other side, use video confirmation. There's no additional charge for that. Okay, so please use this to get them on camera. So it comes up on camera. You start the recording. It's going to give me an instruction: raise shoulders, raise the shoulders, and it counts down. It's a 10-second video. and then I submit that. Now, once I submit, watch this. The document will be signed, and it's now complete, just like that, okay? So I did mention earlier about branding. You can also have your clients rerouted so that it goes to your website, not this unsecured signing platform, but the document has now been signed. It is simple as that, folks. There's nothing more to it than that. So you as, of course, the creator of this documents will automatically get the delivery of that document back to your system. And you'll know it's been signed because it's moved from the In Progress tab, which was here, and now it's moved over to the Sign folder. So just let this update here for just a quick second. And here it is. So here's the document we just signed. Again, you can download this document, of course, for your records, and it'll show that all the signatures are valid, okay? You can look at the entire log. You can view the log of everything that just transpired with this entire signing session, including IP address and the location of your signer, okay? Again, you can export everything out of the system, put it in your own records. We've created the signing completion certificate as well, all right? So this is also a locked document. So if you can take a look at this, you can download this. It will not be attached to the original documents, but it is a separate document for you to have for your records. Okay. You can also watch that video and download that video right by using this link right here. Okay. So the process of getting documents signed can be very straightforward, as you just saw today. All right. So let me just pause there. I've talked a lot. I just want to see if anybody has any questions before I move on to templates. Let me just make sure everybody's unmuted there. All right, quiet group today, but that's okay. Appreciate that. Now we're going to move into a template, right? So I get this question all the time. I have templates. I want to create those templates. I want to make them secure. I want to have them locked down. So you can create as many templates as you want. And it's very simple. Here's a bunch of templates that I've already created, but you can create a new template. You just click on the template button. You upload that document just like we did before. And folks, you can drag and drop that document, by the way, which I'm not doing, but let's just grab, we'll just use the same document. And I'm going to create that template. So this is going to look very similar, but now you're creating a template that you're going to be sending out to folks in the future. So again, you're going to start from left to right. You're going to add the invitee box, and you're just going to drag and drop it. So very similar, the process, but now you're going to store and save these for future use, okay? So you can set this up. You can make this as dynamic as you need. You can add as many signature boxes. Let's add a second signer and put them here. Now I mentioned earlier there's a needs to view. So maybe you have a signer that needs a sign and you have a manager that needs to view this. You can add somebody that just needs to view this document. Again, it creates the box. It won't be there on the documents during the signing. But as you can see, I'm just going through the process of creating different fields that are required for this document to be signed. Here's that file upload button. I'm going to make this a mandatory. I'm going to make this mandatory for file 1. And I'm going to just type in whatever the document is, maybe driver's license. Just like that, okay? So notice that the name changed. So I've created this template, and this template is ready to go. It can be used over and over and over and over again. Obviously a lot of blanks here, that's okay. You can fill them in as you need to. And then I'm going to name this whatever I want. And I save it. Now folks, it's that simple of creating a template, right? And again, these templates are something you're going to be using over and over and over again. And then if I go over to my documents and I go into my templates file, you're going to see that it's been created. Let me just get there and I will show this to you. Here's the document I just created called testing document. Okay, so there it is. Again, you can see how many templates I already have created. So let's say you have your templates created and you want to send out multiples. Because you've got them created, they always need to go out. So you're going to go ahead and choose those, and then you can prepare them to preview and send out to the signers. So you just click there. You're going to make this as a package. You're going to be sending out a bulk of templated documents that are pre-tagged. You're going to take a look at them one last time. Make sure that everything looks correct on these templates. You can decide who's going to sign what first, which document, and then, let me just go over here. And then I've got my documents, and I can take a look. I can remove documents where I need. I can add additional templated documents if I need to create that package. So you start the process, you can then add additional documents to that package of documents in order for them to be signed. And then as you see, you can click on them, and here's all the documents. And notice they're all pre-tagged. Again, we're talking about templated documents here. So we are good to go, all right? Then you just click next. So again, there's many ways to create this package. This is particularly templates. And so I'm gonna go through now and I'm gonna add the email addresses for the signers. Let's say I've got signer 1. All right, I've got this one, I happen to be a notary. I've got signer 2 in the system. Again, maybe I wanna set this one up for Spanish, this individual for Spanish. Maybe I need them to review the document beforehand. Maybe I need this person to review the document. It just depends on how you wanna set it up. Throughout this. You can create and edit email templates specific to a specific individual. So maybe certain instructions have to go to one person, certain instructions have to go to another person. You can create those templates or write a message specific to that particular signer. Okay, so a lot of options on here, and we're just barely scratching the surface around some of the things that can be done with this. But let me show you a really neat feature with regards to templates. Now, most of you probably would never use this, but let's say you have a website and you need your clients to download a document that they then have to sign, okay? So again, it's a templated document. It's valid for one signature only, but I've created this particular document, and I'll show this to you here in just a second. Again, this is a template. It's a generic template. And I have this URL that I've created. So with this URL, again, you post this on your website, and when your clients click on this, it brings them to the form that they have to complete. So most of you are going to just be creating a document, but maybe there's a document that they need that they have to fill out prior to authorization to speak with them. You can upload, create any form you want, create the document of all the fields you need that you can see here, and then they fill it out, and then they sign it. And then that automatically gets returned to you. So again, that's just your basic URL. It creates a URL in the system. And when you look at this document, and I'll just show you what this credit card authorization form, kicked me out, what this credit card authorization form looks like. It's pretty neat because again, it's a templated document that I've created a link that's going to be added to my website so my clients can click on it and then of course go ahead and sign that document, right? So let me just see if I can go into this and I'll show you where that link looks like. So here's the template that I've just created. If I go into Save Templates, I'm clicking on Get a Link with an email code. Now you could do an email code with an ID verification. So again, it's about security. It's about knowing who your signer is on the other side, right? So you can set it up where they have to actually provide a copy of their ID prior to signing a document. So this is a very robust feature. It's a really neat link, and it really gives you the opportunity to control who the signer is through the signing process. Okay, so lots of things you can do in here. We're only going to focus on just those few for today. All right, one last item I think I'm going to share with you here, and I mentioned this earlier. We talked about broadcasting. So let's say we have 300 employees and all of them have to have the same information, right? So you can go in here into WeSign and you can create a broadcast or a template. You can create this in the template form as well. And you can go in and broadcast an entire message out to the entire team. So let me just find one. Let's see what this looks like. Let's try this one. Let's grab this document here, and we're going to prepare this to broadcast out to the entire team. So it's creating the document. This would look very similar to what we just did before. And let's say they need to look at this document here and they need to sign this document. So you're going to add the invitee. And, oh, sorry. I'm going to go over here to add broadcast. I'm going to put this broadcast label right here. Let's say this is where they need to sign this. So they've reviewed the instructions of this particular document. Once you click the broadcast button, you click next. And then you can either type in their email address and name. You can upload a list that you already have in the system, or if you have a list that's already been created in Excel, you can go ahead and grab that list. So I'm going to add this. And now all of those folks that are in there, this is the order. Now all the names are there. So this is really a powerful tool. If you need to send something out to your entire team, maybe it's a message, maybe it's something they need to sign off on. This is very powerful because then you can broadcast this out to your entire team for them to actually sign this document. So once that broadcast is sent out, then it will stay in your inbox until those documents are signed. So you're always keeping track of everything that's happening through your in progress tab, right? So I'll wait for this to update here, and then I'll show you what that looks like. Again, folks, I'm running through a lot here, but here's an example of some broadcasting. I've got this message out, this one out, and this one out, and nobody has signed these documents yet. All right, I need them to sign these documents. So again, they're going to get that email. They're going to sign that document. Once it's signed, it moves to the signed folder. Okay, just like that. All right, so I don't know where we are, 3:45. I want to get this open to question and answers. Does anybody have any questions at the moment? I know we're running through this very quickly, but I want to cover a lot of the cool features. All right, quiet group. Okay, let's go over here to smart tags. So I mentioned about our smart tags. It's a way to automate the document creation. So that way your documents automatically have these documents pre-tagged. So maybe you're working in Word, right? And you need to add a tag. So and every time you upload a document, that same location is going to be signed, notarized, whatever it might be. So here's a sample document, and this is what the tag looks like right here. Signer one is going to sign. This is their email address and their name, right? So when you upload this document, you don't have to create that box anymore. The system will automatically create the box for the signer. So it's much more robust than just that one particular box. We have an entire smart tag guide. So for those folks that are integrating, this is probably used most, but if you have documents that are reusable over and over and over again, you can create these smart tags. And you can see here, it's an entire list of how to do a smart tag within a particular document. Okay, so very simple, very straightforward. It just takes a little bit of time. Again, it's like tagging a document, but you're actually putting tags on these documents a little bit more specific. Not only that, for you, those of you in the notary industry, you can also create and have it upload into your notarial journal as well. All right, so just, again, running through some quick ideas here, but smart tagging, highly recommend that if you're using a lot of repeat documents. And the last one I'll show here is called Form Filler. So with Form Filler, it's very similar to template creation, just very similar to this. We have a lot of our customers out there that have hundreds and hundreds of documents. So you're going to upload that document. It's going to look very similar to what we did before on Form Filler. It's just another way of creating the templated documents. Okay, we call it Form Filler. You can go into templates, create it that way, or use Form Filler. It takes you to the same location. All right, so we talked about the translation opportunity within this platform from English to Spanish. Hopefully down the road we'll add other languages as well, but today it's Spanish. Let me just show you the audit log. Well, I did show you the audit log, but let me just show that to you again. I think it's important. The audit log is a very important piece, especially around security. So when you have the documents that are signed, this log will, again, provide you all the detailed information of everything that transpired during this particular signing session, again, including IP address and location of your signer. Not that this happens very often, but maybe you have a client outside the United States and they're supposed to be in the United States when they're signing this document. You're not going to know beforehand, but you'll certainly know after if they're not where they're supposed to be. We have that more concerns in the legal industry than anything else. All right. I did show you that signing completion certificate. Show that to you one more time just so you see it. Again, this is a separate document attached to every single signing, whether it's a remote online notary or a digital signature signing solution. Okay, very important document. And this is also a locked document. We secure that just like we do your document that has been signed. Now, again, the beauty about going with a digital signature solution is that you always have an original. You always have the original document. You have unlimited originals. The reason for that is you're going to take this document and store it on your own device. Now, we can store that document for you long-term if you choose for us to do so. You would have to turn that on. Most of our companies, most of our users out there do not want us to store those documents long-term, but that's your choice. It is defaulted to no, right? For compliance reasons, we will not store those documents more than 7 days. They will be deleted after that time, but by then I'm sure you've already downloaded the document for your file. Again, if you do want us to store those videos, not a problem. Not videos, I'm sorry, store the documents. Just turn that on through your settings and those documents will be stored long-term at no additional cost. Reporting. We're going to talk about reporting. On this tab here, My Reports, we built a very robust dashboard, and this shows you everything that you're doing with regards to the platform. And you can run any type of report you want. A documents report, an activity report, pending report, and so on. You can set the timeline of where you need to pull these documents in from. So you as the admin user have complete control over all the documents, all the information that's associated with you using this platform, right? So if you're wondering about costs, you're on a cost report. If you want to know about who signed the documents, who's actively using the platform, you can always run all sorts of reports around that as well. So that was a whirlwind. In 50 minutes, I went through a lot of features, and folks, there's so many more things that this system can do. Just don't have the time to go through the rest of that today. So with that, I'm going to take a breather and just ask if anybody has any questions out there that I can help answer. Quiet group today, quiet group. If you don't want to say it out loud, you can go ahead and post those questions here. All right, so I will mention this. This is our first webinar we've done on the digital signatures. We're going to improve this as we go. Hopefully you'll come back and see that again. For those of you that are in the notary business, we offer a webinar on Wednesdays at 3 o'clock Eastern. Every Wednesday, 3 o'clock Eastern. Costs nothing. You can join that video, and I'm going to show you the specifics around a remote online notarization. For those of you that are paying customers, we then have a Thursday's training course on how to utilize the system in the RON world. So we have lots of training, we have lots of guides built into this platform. We want you to be successful using a system like ours and knowing that it is a very secured platform, okay? So when I mention user guide, we have this help user guide right here, right, built into our system. It's a lot of pages of reading, but just know that it's there for you in case you have any questions. Again, I barely touched the surface of what the dynamics of this platform can do. So take a look at this user guide if you choose to, and see if you like it. All right. So with that, very simple, very easy way if you choose to go with us and opening up an account with secured signing. You'll just go over here. You can click on digital signature, go into view pricing, and then choose your best pricing method. So let's talk a little bit about pricing. I'm going to click on business plan. If you're an enterprise level customer, meaning you're going to do 1,000 documents annually or more, give Bill or I a call. We will walk through some pricing with you. But let's talk about just from a digital signature. This is not remote online notarization. So we're going to leave this as no for notary. We're going to do an annual plan, prepay that. So let's say you have one user starting at 600 documents annually, $329.45 for the use of this platform for one user for 600 documents annually. Again, we're not charging for video confirmation. We're not charging for signatures. You can change this. Let's go to 2 users, 600 documents. Let's go to 3 users, right? We can go to 900 documents. So you can see how this changes based on your needs and requirements within your organization of how many users you need and how many documents you need on an annual basis. But let's just go to monthly. So let's say you wanted to go monthly. You don't know how many documents you're going to be doing annually. Not a problem. We have a month-to-month plan, business plan. Starts with 1 user, and the first 10 documents you use a month are free. And then after that, we start charging on the 11th document. It starts at $9.95 a month. After the 11th document, we charge $1.50 per the document upload. Now, if you decide to use KBA or ID verification, there are additional charges around that. $1 for KBA and $3 for ID verification per check. Again, all those are posted on the website as well. So for those of you who just want to get it started, try to use this platform, see if you like it. This is your best bet. Do a month-to-month, 1 user, and $9.95 a month, and you pay for what you use, $1.50 upload after the 10th document. So technically, folks, for $9.95 a month, you can run 10 documents through here for free. Really, you're just paying for the annual fee or the monthly fee. And then after that, of course, you pay $1.50 for the document upload. All right, so that is my speech for today. If I will close out now, unless anybody has any last minute questions, and I'll just pause one more time just to see if anybody has anything. All right, quiet group, I expected that today, but I look forward to hearing from you. I will go back to the slide. So again, you know how to reach Bill or myself. So again, reach out to us if you have independent questions. If you're interested in looking at either our month-to-month plan or our business plan or enterprise level account, we can walk you through the details on that. We can certainly help you open up that account as well and give it a try, right? See what you like. So again, Roger Castile here is your host today, and then Bill Gimbel, who joined us at the beginning. He is also can assist you with any questions you have. There's our email addresses. Those are our phone numbers. Feel free to give us a call, and let's hopefully you'll choose secured signing for your digital signing needs. So with that, thank you all for your time. I appreciate your patience and staying with me during this presentation. This has been recorded, so it will go out to the audience. And again, please reach out if you have any questions. So with that, I'm signing off, and have a great afternoon. Take care. Bye-bye.